into a story that comes from Scotland.
Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song.
Do you know this?
Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Train I ride is 21 coaches long. Oh, train I ride is 21 coaches long. Train I ride is 21 coaches long. The girl I love is on that train and gone. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. I went down to the river and I laid down to sleep. Well, I went down to the river and I laid down to sleep. I went down to the river and I laid down to sleep. When I woke up, there were shackles on my feet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a worried man. I worry about everything. I worry about, I worry about global warming. I worry about taxes. I worry about my dog. I worry about everything. And my wife keeps telling me, she says, Omar, you gotta stop worrying about things. It's not good for you. It doesn't help. And I say, you listen to me, Mrs. Lori Hansen. You listen to me. You can't tell me that worrying doesn't help, because everything I worry about never happens. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long.
From Scotland called The Girl Who Was Afraid of Nothing. Now there was once a young woman that lived high up in the highlands of Scotland, all alone, because her parents were gone. Her mother had died when she was very young, and her father had run off soon after that, and so she'd had to learn how to fend for herself. Well, she did have an old uncle that would come and visit her from time to time.
Sure now, lassie, you'd be better down in the valley with your old uncle than up here in the highlands where heaven knows what might happen to you.
Oh, uncle, I like it up here. I'm not afraid.
Well, are you not afraid of what might happen to you?
No, I have me cat and me dog and a cow in the meadow. I'm not afraid.
Well, that's what they're saying down in the valley, that Heaven McDuck is afraid of nothing. But surely you're afraid of something.
Well, I suppose I could be, but I don't know what.
Well, what about the fair folk, the wee folk? Are you not afraid they might come and take you away?
No, I don't think so.
What about monsters? Oh, monsters is scary. I'm afraid of monsters. Oh.
No, I don't think so.
What about witches? Oh, witches is scary with them pointy hats. Oh, they scare me.
No, I don't think so.
Giants, why have I seen a giant? I think I'd fall right down.
No.
Big, black, ugly dogs with big, pointy teeth.
No.
Skeletons.
No.
Goblins.
No.
Trolls.
No.
Elves.
No.
Banjo players. I know it, you're afraid of banjo players. Oh, so am I with all that picking. Oh, they're awful. Yeah. Oh, it's
no, Uncle, I'm not afraid of banjo players. They're just irritating.
All right, that's true. Well, what about this? You're one of the bunniest lasses in all these parts. You live here up high in the mountains. How are you ever going to find a man to take care of you?
Now, Uncle, I don't think that I need a man to take care of me, and I certainly don't think I've seen any man that I really want to be taking care of him. So, you just go down off me mountain and tell any of them young men, if they're so interested, they can come up here to me, and I'll give them a bit of me medicine. Now, run along with you, Uncle.
All right. But didn't say I didn't warn you.
And so her uncle left, leaving Heather alone, which was exactly how she liked it. On his way home, though, he did run into a banjo player.
Oh no, I'm scared.
And he was nearly scared to death. Well, it wasn't long before there was a whole line of suitors coming up that mountain to see if Heather would marry them, since her uncle had spread the word that she needed a man to take care of her.
I did not. All right, I did.
Well, they had come up the mountain all as one big group because it was a long ways off, and who knows what scary things could have happened to them on the way.
Now, they all stood outside of Heather's house and waited for her to come out. Now, this got to be very irritating to Heather. So finally, she came out of her house, she walked right up to them, and she said to them,
"All right, listen here. I don't see any of you that I want to be taken care of, and I'm not sure that any of you could be taken care of me. But I'll tell you what I'll do. If one of you can come over here and give me a right good scare, why then I guess I'd marry ya. But if not, then you have to go down and spend the night at the mill. And everyone knows there's 3 Goblin Brothers that haunts the mill at night. Now who's first?"
Now, they all had heard about the goblins, and no one wanted to have anything to do with that. So off they went, back down the mountain, mumbling and grumbling as they went. Now, that night, Heather was getting ready to go to bed, and she realized she didn't have enough meal for her porridge in the morning.
"Oh my, now I'm going to have to go down to the miller's and get a wee bit of meal for me larder."
And so she did.
Well, when Heather got to the miller's, it was late and it was dark, and she knocked on the door.
"Who's there? Who's there?"
It's me, Mr. Miller. It's Heather. I've come to get a wee bit of meal from ya."
No, you can't tonight. No, I won't do it tonight. No, you can't. You know there are 3 goblins that haunt the mill, and I won't go there after dark, so I can't do it tonight. Not tonight, no.
"Would you mind if I did it myself? Perhaps I could roust those goblins out for you. And if I could, would you give me free meal for a week?"
Are you daft, girl? Sure, you're not so foolish to go in there after dark.
"I don't mind. I'll roust them out, and in exchange you could give me free meal for a week."
Roust up those goblins? Oh, I'll give you a meal for a year if you can roust up those goblins.
"Right, it's a bargain. Give me the key."
Oh, I think you're a foolish girl to try. But here, may the saints protect you.
Well, Heather took the key and thought nothing more of it, and the miller went and shut his door, locked he and his family inside, and waited for the terrible things that he was sure were going to happen. Well, Heather took the key, went down to the mill, unlocked it, went inside, pulled out a bag of oats, and began to grind them in the grinder. Well, she hadn't been at it very long when she heard a sound behind her.
"Oh, now you come in, Mill. I'm gonna scare you into little itty bitty pieces, because I'm the Mill Goblin. I'm gonna scare you now. I'm gonna do that right now, okay? I'm gonna scare you so bad. Oh, yeah.
Listen here, little goblin. Be off with ya.
What? What?
Yeah, be off with you, goblin. I have work to do. And she continued to grind her oats.
Hey, you gotta stop grinding. You gotta stop that now, because I'm the Mill Goblin. I'm gonna scare you now, okay? I'm gonna scare you, because I'm the Mill Goblin. I'm gonna scare you.
I think I've had about enough of that. And so Heather simply walked over to this little goblin, grabbed him by the nose, and began to squeeze it. There now, be off with ya.
Oh, boy, that was painful. Oh, you in trouble now, boy, because I got 2 big Goblin Brothers, and boy, they're gonna give it to you. They're gonna give it to you, my big
All
Goblin
right,
brothers.
that's enough of that.
What?
And so Heather went over to this little goblin, picked him up by the seat of the pants, and tossed him into the grinder. She kept grinding her oats with the little goblin going around and around and around, because it's actually almost impossible to kill a goblin, and they make pretty good lubrication for the millstone. So she kept grinding fine with him going around and around until she heard another sound behind her.
Hey, you girl. Who are you? Is that my brother in the grinder wheel?
I don't know if it is or not. You'll have to ask him yourself.
Hey, you in the grinder wheel. You my brother?
Yes, you did. Get the girl. Get the girl.
Oh, now I see that you have thrown my brother into the grinder wheel. Now I'm gonna have to scare you. I'm gonna scare you bad, horrible. I'm gonna do terrible, awful, horrible
That is about enough of that, Heather said again to this medium-sized goblin. And so she walked over to him, grabbed him by the nose, and began to squeeze.
Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose. You squeezed my nose. Oh, it was very painful. I liked it.
All right, that's enough of that. And Heather took this medium-sized goblin, picked him up by the seat of the pants, and threw him into the grinder with his brother.
Whoa.
Well, she continued to grind her oats with both brothers going around and around and around.
Woo! I told you, hit it.
Oh, it hurts so good.
Well, it was not long before Heather heard another sound behind her.
Hello?
She turned around, and there in the doorway was a third goblin, and he was huge. He stared at Heather, and she stared at him, and she knew that he was way too big to simply pick up and throw in the grinder.
Hi. Yo, girl, who are you? And where are my Goblin Brothers?
Right here. Get the girl. Get the girl.
Oh, it hurts so good. Is that my brothers in the big grinder thing?
Well, I think it is. They wanted to have a ride in the grinder. I think they like it.
Do you like the ride in the grinder?
No, you idiot. It's a trick. You idiot. Get the girl. Get the girl.
Oh, it's so painful. Oh, it hurts so good. They say they do not like it.
Well, yeah, you know how goblins are, though. They really can't be trusted. They probably didn't want you to have any of the fun.
It's a trick. Get the girl. Get the girl.
Oh, it hurts so good. Whoa, that makes me angry. I want to have fun in Big Grinder Wheel. How do I have fun in Big Grinder Wheel?
Well, I suppose if you wanted, you could just go over there and jump right in. And so he did.
Whoa! It's not fun. It's not fun.
I told you, idiot. I told you.
Oh, it hurts so good.
She let them go around a few more times, and then finally she reached in and pulled them all out by the seat of the pants and stood the three of them up in front of her. All right, now you listen here. I want the three of you to leave this mill tonight, and don't you ever come back again now. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, it hurts so good.
What?
Yes, we'll go.
And so they did. Well, Heather cleaned everything up and took the key back to the miller and reminded him of their bargain.
Oh, no. Did I say a year? No, I think I said no.
Mr. Miller!
All right, a year. And so Heather went home to the cat and the dog and the cow in the meadow, and everyone believed that she could not be frightened. And so for the most part, everyone just left her alone, except for Huey the shepherd boy. Now, Huey the shepherd boy lived up near Heather, and every day on his way to the meadows, he would pass by Heather's house. And every day he hoped to see her there, and usually sometimes waited for her. And as he passed by, he would say to her, "Look, hello, Miss Heather, and how are you this fine day?"
Oh, I'm fine, Huey. I'm fine. And how are you?
"Oh, I'm very fine also, Miss Heather."
Well, I'm very glad to hear it, Huey.
Now this went on for some time, greetings every day, but some that heard it felt like there was more being said than just a greeting. Some people said that Huey was in love with Heather and that Heather was in love with Huey. Well, it went on for some time until one day, as Huey was walking by Heather's house, he heard a terrible scream come from outside the house. So he ran inside, and there in the kitchen, standing on a stool, was Heather.
Huey, it's a little mousey. Huey,
Mousey? Surely, Miss Heather, you're not afraid of a little mousey.
But the cat and the dog are out, and the cow is no good when it comes to a mousey. Please, take the little fellow out for me, but mind you don't hurt him. I don't want him hurt.
And so he did.
Oh, thank you, Huey. I'm so grateful to you.
Well, it's all right, Miss Heather. And are you sure you don't want to take care of someone, and maybe from time to time have someone take care of you?
Oh, Huey. Call me Heather.
And so he did. And so they were married. And they all lived happily ever after, with the cat and the dog and the cow and the sheep in the meadow, and a little mouse that Heather would pet from time to time when Huey wasn't around.
And everyone else lived happily ever after, except perhaps her uncle, who was continually running into banjo players.
Oh no, banjo! Oh, yeah. Oh.
And they really are very